Hey there, Prairie Plant Girl here. Today I'm going to be planting garlic, and I'm doing it a little bit different than usual this year. And I was just going to go ahead and do it, and I thought, well, maybe you'd like to see what I'm doing, and maybe we can revisit this in the spring and see how it worked out for me. So the last few years I've bought garlic bulbs, ordered them online, bought them from the store, wherever, and they haven't done real well for me. I used to be able to grow garlic very well, but I think our climate is obviously changing here a little bit in Saskatchewan, Canada, and normally we're told to plant our garlic in late August to early September, and that'll give you lots of time to get them well rooted in and growing, doing well before the cold weather hits. But they seem to be doing too well, sprouting, growing, and then we have really back and forth cold, warm-ish kind of winters, but when it gets cold, it gets very, very cold, like minus 35 Celsius, like cold. And I think that's just too hard on the garlic. So they haven't been coming back for me very well. I've got a little bit of garlic each year, but not much. But I have this one chunk of garlic that just keeps randomly coming up in one of my beds. Every year it comes back up, and I try and pull it and I never get anything, and I just kind of forget about it. But this year I dug it up, and I had to dig down. Like, it was really, really far down in the soil. So I'm not even sure how it got down that deep, because garlic's normally only planted like this deep. If it's just worked its way down over the years, if it got tilled down that low somehow one year, though I don't normally till my beds. I don't have an explanation, but they were down deep. And so I dug them up, and they already have lots of roots on them. They kind of pulled apart out of the cloves as I was digging them up. Some were just singles, but some were obviously in cloves. They have, like, they kind of fit together, like they were in a clove together, but they came out separate. So I was just kind of reefing and yanking them out, but I'm not even sure how many I have here. I have no idea what kind of garlic it is. Definitely garlic, smells like garlic. And I'm gonna plant it. And I'm gonna plant it down the middle of the bed so it has the most protection, because these are raised beds. So anytime I plant too close to the side of the bed, there's just too much freeze thaw on the sides of these raised beds, and they're just not getting the protection they need. So I'm gonna plant them here. I'm gonna plant them in. I have some cauliflower and broccoli in this bed still right now. And that way, when I have to be hand watering things, I'm just having to do the one bed. And I'm going to be adding a little bit of compost, because, like I said, broccoli and cauliflower have been in this bed this summer, so they've taken a lot out of the soil, and the soil level is actually depleted a little bit. But I'm gonna put them down the center of the bed, and I'm gonna plant them all except I have one here that's like been broken off. The top's been broken, so I won't bother planting that. Maybe I'll take it in the house and try it and find out if it's actually good garlic or not. But so I have a bag of compost that I've made, and then I just put it into stored soil bags, leftover soil bags. So I'm just going to dump that in here and kind of level it out. And then I'll kind of make a furrow down the middle of this bed. And I'm going to put some bone meal in. I don't have much bone meal left, but we'll put a little bit down there. And then we'll plant this garlic. I have a couple that have started to sprout already in the ground, but you can see how white that stem is, because they were so deep in the ground that it hadn't even gotten up to the sunlight yet. But most of them are just have lots of nice roots on them, but haven't actually sprouted yet. We'll get this started here. That'll just add some nutrients back to the soil, bring the soil level back up in the bed. That's what we want there. So I'm just gonna make a furrow. You can just push each clove down, but I don't know, today I'm making a furrow. Not sure how far I need to go. There's not a ton of bulbs there. And they don't need to be planted very deep. So this will be hardneck garlic. That's all I plant. And hardneck garlic needs that cold period, so it's good to plant it in the fall or late winter if the ground isn't frozen. Bone meal just helps with root development, so that's why I'm putting that in there. And then you just, like I said, you only want it down to around the second knuckle on your hand or so. You can go right up to here if you want, but it doesn't need to be super deep. And that's to the bottom of the clove. So I'm just going to be, and then I'm going to put them about that far apart as well. Garlic wants a nice sunny location to grow. Oh, I've got lots here. Okay, let's keep going. So I just added some more bone meal down here and made my trench a little further. So that's 15 down to there. I'm just going to cover them over, and then I have a few more left. Try and get this trench a little further down here. And I might have to put a few on the side. $16, $17. I don't want to get much closer to the edge of the bed there. Go with that. Make sure I keep this one that's broken out of there. So there's just 5 left. And what did I say? I had 17. So that'll give me about 20, 22 if they come up. So we'll just push a couple in here nearby that row. Some of these aren't huge cloves, but normally you'd want to keep your biggest cloves, but I'm just kind of curious to see what this garlic does. It's been coming back year after year all on its own. When I try and plant it in the bed here. So those last few didn't have bone meal go in with them. I'll just sprinkle some on top. Finish the bucket. So, like I said, I really don't know what this garlic is. It smells good. It smells like good garlic. I'm going to use this in one of my meals here coming up so I can get a good taste of it. But I'm excited to see how this grows. It obviously is a garlic that wants to be growing here because it just keeps coming back up no matter what I do in the bed, no matter what I plant in there with it. There's always just some garlic that comes up in that bed just beside this one I just planted in. I haven't had alliums in this bed for a couple of years, so it should be a good spot to grow them. And once the ground freezes, I'll come in either with more compost or more than likely just some shredded leaves to use as a mulch and put that down on top. Then I often will put like some chicken wire or something on top just to keep them from blowing off. But that's that's what I'm going to be doing to get the garlic going this year, and hopefully I'll have better luck than I have the last couple of years, because you know, I was on a real roll with garlic, getting some beautiful big heads, and this year, the last few years just haven't been like that. But that's how gardening goes sometimes too. But I thought I'd just try something different, hopefully find some more hardy garlic that really likes it where I am. So the biggest things when you're planting garlic normally are to get it planted so it has time to develop those roots before the ground freezes. You want your hardneck garlic to do that. So this is all hardneck garlic. You separate the cloves out, so you could see it was each an individual clove. It wasn't a whole head of garlic that I was planting each hole. And then you want to put it down, like I said, about, I don't know what that is, 3 or 4 inches, 8 to 12 centimeters. I just go like this. And then about that same spacing. And normally, like I said, that worked for me for years. Bone meal helps the roots develop in the fall, and then you don't want to be doing a lot of other fertilizing at that time of year. But then in the spring, hit it with a good nitrogen fertilizer, get it off to a good start once it starts to grow and the ground thaws out. And like I said, mulching in the winter, especially if you have really fluctuating temperatures, can be a good thing. I haven't done that the last few years. I've just been trying to kind of combat like the flea beetles and things in my yard, so I haven't been putting a lot of extra leaves on my garden beds. But I think I definitely need to do that with the garlic. I really do think that helps. And then you would take that mulch back off in the spring once things start to thaw out, so that the ground can thaw and the garlic can get growing again. It's just like a winter blanket. Otherwise, just a nice sunny spot, keep it well watered, and when it starts to produce the flowering stem, cut those off to help develop a bigger bulb in the bottom. You can eat those stems when they're nice and young like that. And once the leaves start to dry up at the bottom, once you get about 4 dry leaves, that's time to harvest. So hopefully that helps you with your fall garlic planting if you haven't done it yet. And don't worry if you're watching this and it's in the winter, if you get a day where the ground is thawed out in your area, say in like February or something, go out, chip out some of that soil, plant your garlic down in there, cover it up, and water it in and mulch it, and you might still get some hardneck garlic coming up in the spring. It's better than having it just sitting rotting in your house, so give it a try. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.